Hi, this is Irram, and let's talk about POCA, otherwise known as proceeds of crime. So what are the proceeds of crime? These are monies or assets that could be gained by criminals throughout their criminal enterprises. So essentially, what would usually be the case is authorities would be able to track these funds to be linked to those criminals. Now, the authorities such as the Crown Prosecution Service, Her Majesty Revenue and Customs, or any form of the police, they've got the power to seize these goods and to confiscate these goods. Now, usually what happens in this is they try to define what form of criminality these assets were gained in. So essentially, when we're instructed by our clients, we see a lot of the cases where their money or assets have been seized and they believe they've been wrongfully pursued. And it is up to us to define what's in the evidence to determine whether or not the authorities are correct in confiscating their goods. So what does the Proceeds of Crime Act govern? So essentially the authorities will be looking at any assets or money that would be earned from a criminal whilst they're continuing their criminal activity. Now we're going to be talking a bit more about these assets and the authorities. So the authorities that do have the authorization and the ability to confiscate goods are usually HMRC, the Crown Prosecution Service, or the police themselves. So essentially, when we see goods and assets seized, we go down the route to ensure that these are lawful, as we previously explained. So when it comes to seizure and detention of assets, the three things that we essentially look out for: if the goods that they have confiscated are listed goods, if they're recoverable, and if they're no less than the minimum. The minimum is £1,000. So now we're going to be talking about the assets and the authorities. Now, a lot of people, they undermine whether or not the authorities have the right to seize the goods. Now, essentially, when we're involved, we look at the whole sort of procedural route of them detaining the goods. The police, they do have rights to seize the goods. However, they've got to follow procedure in order for it to be a lawful confiscation. So for cash and account forfeiture orders, we look down the route to see who authorized these. So initially, an officer can seize the goods for up to 6 hours. However, in order to extend this, they need to get a senior officer involved, and they authorize a longer detention for 42 hours. After this, the magistrates would get involved and put forward a confiscation order. Now, this can be between the periods of 6 months to 2 years. And essentially, they'd look at the case and the reason why the order has been put in for that length of time. So our POCA department really go above and beyond. We recently travelled out to Greece to meet up with a client. He had goods that were seized in a safety deposit box. The actual respondent in proceedings, he had keys to the safety deposit box, but our client owned the goods within the safety deposit box, and we had the evidence to prove that. These were goods that were very high value items. They were family heirlooms, they were paintings, and we're talking about goods in the region of millions. We managed to get these released by the police, and our client walked away happy. So thank you for watching, guys. So if you could please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, we'd appreciate it.